Hey, Rick and Danny, how are you, kind sirs? My name's Cate Colgan. A lot of people know me as Cate TV, and this is my video submission application to secure one of the 12 positions available to be a broker or sub-broker. I'm not sure the terminology. So a lot of people know of me online. I'm quite a social butterfly. I have a personality that's out there. I took a little time to think about what I wanted to say here, and kind of was going to do a couple different shirts and a couple different scenes, but I just wanted to tell you, I picked a white shirt, and I picked a shirt that's a little bit wrinkly, and there's a reason for that. So I want to go back to sales experience and guidance, etc. So way back when, one of my first jobs was I was in with Ritter Corporation, Cybron Corporation, with dental chairs. So I remember having to learn about what was coming down the pike, etc., and new technology back then. So it wasn't just about my presentation skills. I've always been a firm believer in learning about what a product is, etc. And I took the time to do that. I took the time to find out the techniques of sales and listen to the great mentors. I know, Rick, you mentioned a lot that over time you've dealt with some bozos, and so have I, and I've chosen to go with the winners that not only were passionate and outgoing, but people that were also very approachable. So that's important to me, is to be able to be approachable. That's kind of like why I have a blank slate here. I went out and I sold copiers for 3M Corporation, and at the same time too, I also, a product that we had at the time was a one-rate accounting system. So during that part of time, for my own sales experience, I learned the importance of having a pipeline. And there was always the bigger sales to be out there, but I always just learned that there was a market for the smaller sales, and how to build that, and how to keep track of it, and how to really to manage my pipeline, because that's what it's about. Obviously, no sales, no money, no eating. Could have the best personality in the world, but if you didn't do that, I continued on. I was in the restaurant business for almost 20 years with Friendly's Ice Cream Corporation. That's always about sales as well. Over my lifetime, I've employed over 10,000 people. I was able to keep the basics of the sales order down there, teaching them the steps of service and the system, and but then to be able to be creative in other ways, to be able to expand. The top line always equals the bottom line. Thinking outside of the box once you have those systems in place, and that's what I like about being able to have the opportunity to work with the two of you. We have the enthusiasm of a lot of different people, but we have Rick's and Danny's systems, which are so important to be able to channel all this enthusiasm into, whether it be selling French fries or selling add-ons or whatever. That was important. So then I continued on to be in. After that, I was with Starbucks for a little bit and came up with some innovative marketing ideas. But again, it's always about the top line sales. And then I segued over into the mortgage business. Quite frankly, I was petrified of the mortgage business because I didn't know anything about it. But then calmly, the owner, the president of the company said, "Cate, it's all about products. Instead of having a hamburger or a copy or whatever, we're going to simply have products." So I went to him and found out what the products are, because knowledge is power, and then find out the best route. And then I learned about distribution channels. In the real estate business, my distribution channels was the realtors within the office. So obviously my customer was the real estate agents, and how to deal with them, and how to talk with them and be approachable, and always to be available. Sometimes I wasn't liked by some of my fellow salespeople, if you will, in other offices, because, for instance, I was always there on Saturdays and Sundays when the people were ready to buy. Imagine that. So it's always about, I think in my world, I just go about life. I'm going to attach a couple of videos here that are kind of silly, but not really, because it's really what I do every day. People that know me could tell you that I'm driven to connection. I know young people, to somebody that's the son of a vice president of a pretty major corporation, because I listen to him. I have somebody that's a 16-year-old who's a mentor of mine, to being out in spring training games, to, oh, guess what, talking about waitressing and waiter and stuff. I waitress at Village Inn. Believe it or not, I made some of my best contacts over there. I also go to different conventions but not a lot. I'm very specific about it. That's why I decided to sign up for traffic once I learned more about it. I go to a place called Subcon, Liz Strauss's and Terry Starbucker, because there's 150 people from around the world, kind of like masterminds. Last year there was a guy that was a producer of Pretty Woman. Yep, he produced Pretty Woman. There's J.J. French, who was part of that, I can't remember, the Twisted Sister, the band. So I listen, even though I might talk a lot, I listen a lot. And I know the taproot and listen to people that know people. So when I connect with people, they know me because I've been out and about, and they trust that I will make the correct connections, if you will. So I'm looking for the opportunity to be able to bring some fun. I'm always about fun. I have an old saying, when we stop having fun, we're out of here. So I'm pretty confident that you guys are going to have fun, along with the structure of the domain names and how to approach it. So I can bring my enthusiasm, my structure of a pipeline, and knowing that it's about the sales and the contacts, and knowing that it's a numbers game and a follow-up game, along with the excitement of just me, Cate. So thanks a lot for the opportunity for listening to me, and look forward to talking with you soon. Bye.